woman I met when I was at university, when we were both young women, and she told me the gospel quite quickly after meeting her, and I became a Christian mainly through her ministry, which was just being friendly and talking about Jesus and taking me to the Bible and telling me the answers from the Bible.
Mrs. Clark and Miss Groves, they were both teachers at St John's, and they were true Christians, and they ran the Sunday school. Wonderful work. I always remember them.
My sister actually made quite a large contribution because she's quite similar in age to me. So we grew up together, obviously, and I've always been able to, I don't know, just talk to her about like any sort of spiritual thing that I've got a sort of issue with or anything like that.
A lady called Marjorie, who's the wife of Bob, who Lynn and Phil bring sometimes, an elderly gentleman. And when we lived in Bilton, she used to run the home group that I was in, and she used to come to my house and read the Bible with me. So yeah, she was.
Ola, actually, when I first started coming to St John's, she just, I don't know whether she made me her pet project or something, I don't know, but she was so full of the spirit, as she always is, and she really took me under her wing, really, and really just helped me on my first formative steps into discovering the Bible, interpreting it for what it is, being joyful in prayer. And she really made a difference to me in that respect when I first came in.
Definitely my auntie. She was the person that, because my mother was very vacant in my life, my aunt, she always took time to talk to me, and she was the one that actually brought me to Christ. If it wasn't for my aunt, then I wouldn't have found a church here, I wouldn't have done most of my things in life, so yeah, it's my auntie.
I think my mother would come into that category very well. I grew up in a Christian home with a mum who had a lot to say about the goodness and the love of God. That's made a massive difference in my life.
My best friend's mother, who's a mother of 6, and was just always calm, and I think can only have ever done that through prayer.
It's funny, people who show you great kindness and make church a brilliant place to be. So there was a lady at my first church when my dad was a minister I would always go and sit in her knee, and she would give me sweets, and she would ask me what I'd learnt in Sunday school that day. And it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it makes church a special place to be when you know that there's somebody who loves you, looks out for you, and wants you to be learning about Christ.
My best friend Eunice, my best friend at school when I was 9, who led me to Christ when I was 14. And I really don't know how she did it at 9 years old, but she got the message across. And here I am, many years later, too many years later, still here.
Probably Laura Mackay, because she's the one who I've spent most time with in terms of with student activities and book groups and things like that. Being around Scott and seeing how a godly woman lives in regards with their family context.
My auntie was praying for me, and she was praying that I'd become a Christian. At the time I had no idea what would happen, but God used that amazingly to totally transform my life. So the prayers of one auntie in India spiritually made a massive impact.